My brother was promoted to head surgeon at Dad's retirement party. Then a patient's widow stood up. My brother Michael was everything our surgeon father wanted in a son. Harvard medical degree, perfect surgical record, proper golf club membership. I went to state medical school and worked at a free clinic downtown treating addicts and homeless patients. At Dad's retirement party from chief of surgery, Michael was getting his position while I sat at table 12 with the janitors. Dad's speech made me sick as he stood at the podium praising Michael's flawless career to 200 guests, including the entire hospital board and state medical officials. Michael represents the best of medicine, always putting patients first, he said. While I knew Michael took bribes from pharmaceutical companies to push unnecessary surgeries and build insurance for procedures he never performed, Michael took the microphone next, his gold Rolex catching the light, and made a toast about carrying on the tradition of excellence, not like some doctors who waste their talents in homeless shelters, looking directly at me while everyone laughed politely. The board chairman announced Michael's new salary would be $800,000 plus bonuses and called him the future of American medicine while handing him the ceremonial key to the chief's office. Michael walked past my table on the way back, stopped, and loud enough for others to hear said, "Maybe when you're done playing Mother Teresa with the junkies, I can find you a real position cleaning bedpans." His wife laughed, their perfect children applauded, and I sat there burning with rage because everyone thought he was this perfect surgeon when I knew he was a fraud who cared more about money than medicine. The governor himself stood up to praise Michael for representing everything right about our healthcare system and announced he was nominating him for the State Medical Excellence Award. My own mother, sitting at the head table, turned to her friends and said loudly, "At least one of my sons made something of himself," while looking directly at me. The mayor stood to congratulate our family on producing two such different doctors, one destined for greatness, one for service. And everyone knew which was which. Michael was getting his third standing ovation, Dad wiping proud tears, when I noticed a woman in black sitting alone near the back, holding an iPad and staring at Michael with pure hatred. She was gripping it so tightly her knuckles were white. And when Michael raised his champagne glass for another toast about maintaining the highest standards, I saw her mouth the word murderer. Michael was mid-sentence thanking the board for their trust when the woman stood up and said loudly, "My husband wasn't your first patient to die, was he, doctor?" The room went completely silent as she walked forward, her heels clicking on the marble floor. "3 years ago, you operated on my husband drunk, Alan Martinez, the construction worker with a routine hernia repair who mysteriously died on your table." I felt my stomach drop because I knew Michael was corrupt, but I had no idea he was a killer. Michael's face drained of color and he stammered, "I don't know what you're talking about, ma'am. You need to leave." She held up her iPad. "I have the security footage the hospital thought they deleted." She connected it to the presentation screen, and suddenly everyone was watching Michael stumble into the OR at 2 in the morning, clearly intoxicated, pushing past a nurse who tried to stop him. "That's my husband on the table," she said, as Michael in the video scrubbed in while swaying. The board members were on their feet. "The hospital paid me $2 million to stay quiet, but I kept everything. The toxicology report showing your blood alcohol was 0.18, the emails from hospital lawyers coaching me to lie, the death certificate that was falsified." Dad stood up from his chair, his face purple with rage, and pointed at Michael. "Tell me she's lying," he demanded. Michael couldn't even look at him. "Dad, I can explain," but Dad cut him off. "You killed patients? You operated drunk and I promoted you?" His voice broke. "I defended you to everyone, including your brother." The state medical board president was already on his phone calling for immediate license suspension. Michael tried to grab the widow's iPad, but security stepped in. "There were 2 other families," she announced. "We've been planning this for months." 2 more families walked through the doors, one holding a photo of their dead daughter, another of their father. Catherine Walsh died during routine gallbladder surgery. Robert Franklin died during knee replacement, both operated on by Dr. Michael while intoxicated, both covered up with settlement money. The board president stood up and said, "Dr. Michael, your medical license is suspended immediately pending criminal investigation." Security escorted Michael out as his wife grabbed their children and fled through the side door. Dad stood there shaking, looking at me for the first time in years, really looking at me, and said quietly, "I backed the wrong son." The CEO approached me and said, "We need someone with actual integrity to rebuild trust. Will you accept the position of chief of surgery?" I looked at my father's empty chair, then at the room full of people who just watched the golden child fall, and said yes.